Here are some of the most disturbing forest, camping, and possible Yeti encounters ever caught on camera. Moments that pull you straight into the dark heart of the wilderness, where every crack of a branch and every shadow between the trees starts to feel a little too close. Number 1. The Silent Forest and the Dog Who Knew First. Thomas Locke built his YouTube channel on calm outdoor escapes, gear reviews, and peaceful wild camps that made viewers feel like they were tagging along for a quiet night under the stars. But the video he uploaded on August 4th, 2024 was different, and it started like his usual content and ended with one of the most unsettling moments he had ever experienced, and one he didn't fully understand even after getting home. The day began to rush, and Thomas had finished an intense gym workout and was already behind schedule.
The place I wanted to go to today, but sun's setting. The actual place I wanted to go to was about a 40-minute drive. There was just not enough time. Even now, it's going to be getting dark very, very soon. Anyway, that's us over there. And this is the happiest dog in the world right now. He's in his element. Just an open field, just hanging out. Amazing.
Normally, he preferred arriving early enough to set up before the tent, but his determination pushed him forward. A shorter location would have to do. With his dog Archie walking happily at his side, Thomas stepped into the woods. Archie was in heaven. An open field, soft ground, and the promise of a calm night outdoors. The air felt warm. The sky carried that orange-purple hues of early dusk, and for the moment, everything looked perfect. They started their hike, walking through grass and shifting toward the tree line. That's when the path turned from meadow to something much more dense.
It's well maintained, as far as footpaths go. Oh dear. Not really any way to avoid the nettles, is there? The thorns. Oh man, I can't even see a semblance of a path. Can't you guess? So allegedly, around the side. Oh, I see something here. Yeah. She's got the right idea.
The forest edge was filled with thorns and tall grasses. He eventually stopped to change into long trousers before pushing deeper into the woods. The path quickly changed from slightly uncomfortable. It felt like a place that hadn't seen regular hikers in a long time. Every few steps, Archie walked ahead, tail wagging, and then circled back. Soon enough, night settled around them. The air changed with it.
The gate. Yeah, very close to that other trail. But it's a small wood, isn't it? Archie. Archie. What was that about? Oh man, I don't know. Tell you what I'll do. I'll get some food going, some smidge spray on, and then I'll see how I feel. Just doesn't feel right. Let's get some food on. Just my mind playing tricks on me.
What began as the excitement of a late evening adventure shifted into something heavier. Thomas couldn't shake the sense that the forest didn't want them there. Not in a trespassing kind of way, but something deeper. He tried to ignore the feeling, chalking it up to exhaustion from a long day and the rush to get on the trail before dark. Eventually, they reached a small clearing. Thomas stopped to catch his breath and then realized Archie was nowhere in sight. He scanned the clearing, calling the dog's name. Anxiety filled at the edges of his voice. The woods around him felt still, almost too still. For a moment, he stood alone in the dim glow of his headlamp, listening for movement. Relief came only when Archie finally reappeared from the trees, as if he had simply wandered a bit too far. But Archie wasn't acting like himself. His tail, normally curled up in excitement, was hung low, drooping in a way Thomas had almost never seen. The dog's focus was locked on a single point deep in the trees. It was not scanning the area or sniffing for animals. It was just staring.
What's wrong, Archie? Tail, he keeps looking over there. His tail. It's just completely dropped. He keeps looking in that direction.
Then something else happened. The forest went too silent. Not quiet, but silent. With no birds, no insects, and no wind brushing the leaves. Just a heavy, suffocating stillness that hung in the air. Thomas tried to push through the unease. Maybe he was overthinking it. Maybe Archie had smelled something ordinary, or maybe the silence was just a coincidence. But nothing felt ordinary anymore. Every instinct in his body screamed that they shouldn't be there. He made the decision instantly. No camping tonight and no forcing a vibe that clearly wasn't right. He packed the few items he had taken out, clipped Archie's lead, and started back toward the main path.
Just birds, mate, just birds. Yeah, fuck it. Nah. Something's fucky. Something's fucky. Pardon my language. The first time I've ever sworn on this channel. Does that prove that something feels genuinely off? We're out here, man. We're gone. The birds have all gone quiet. See if it feels completely different here. This feels so different.
Just as he wrapped up recording, a sound tore through the forest behind him. It was not a branch snapping or a typical animal call. It was a long, sharp, haunting noise which was painful, strained, and absolutely not something he recognized. Within seconds, a burst of bird cries erupted from deeper in the trees, as if the entire forest was suddenly awake in warning. Archie stiffened, and Thomas didn't wait for a second noise. They ran for the car. Viewers later pointed out two things Thomas had already suspected at the moment. Archie's behavior had been the first real warning. Dogs sense things humans don't like: predators, tension, changes in energy. And Thomas's dog had been signaling danger long before Thomas consciously felt it.
Bad vibes, man. Bad vibes. I don't feel the slightest bit of regret. I feel that I've made the right choice. Was that? because I've got my mic on me. Can you hear that?
The second warning was the birds. Birds don't go silent unless something big, dangerous, or unusual enters the area. And when they suddenly cry out in chaos afterward, it usually means something has moved, something real. So what was in that forest with Thomas and Archie that night? Was it a predator crossing the clearing, or an animal that sensed them first? Or something much stranger, something that made an entire forest fall silent? No one knows for sure, but Thomas's instincts told him everything he needed: leave. Number 2, the camouflaged watcher in the Washington wilderness. Jake Travis had carved out a loyal audience on his channel, The Hoaxes Project. Viewers loved watching him venture into Washington's remote wilderness that includes deep forests, riverbeds, and steep ridgelines. Prepared him for what happened on August 13th, 2024. That day's video began like any other, where the forest was calm and Jake moved easily along the path toward his next campsite. The landscape was beautiful, but uneven with rocks, slopes, and roots, which made it difficult to find flat ground. After searching for around half an hour, he finally spotted a small clearing beneath tall trees. It was not perfect. By night, he set up his tarp. By the time the shelter was ready, night was already rolling in.
And as you can see, I'm still working on getting this tarp up. Trees are kind of in an odd formation. I'm also realizing this is not just a square tarp, but should be able to figure out something. This is what I came up with. As you can see, it's sloping with the hill. It's getting pretty dark, so I've got this set up just in time. Now let's get everything else going.
To keep the bugs away, he lit incense, a trick he used on almost every trip. The sweet and smoky scent drifted through the clearing. It mixed with the smell of damp moss and pine needles, settling into the air as Jake collected branches for a fire. Everything felt normal, familiar, and routine, until it didn't. The first sound came out of nowhere. It was a heavy crack echoing through the trees. It was deep, sharp, and close enough to capture his attention instantly.
Yeah, it's looking good. I kind of like how it's open out that way too. Lets a little bit of light into these woods. That way, cannot see a thing. And I don't think I was recording earlier, but something made a heavy sound over there. Could have just been some old rotted logs settling. But up that way, a couple miles, there is a camp, but I don't think anybody's hiking this way back down. Anywho, I've heard that the red lamp keeps the bugs away.
Then came the second sound. This one was louder and sharper, and undoubtedly near his campsite. The kind of noise that makes your body react before your mind has time to catch up. A sudden spike of adrenaline and a tightening in your chest. A quiet understanding that something out there had moved and that it was big. For several long minutes, he stood there searching for movement, but nothing responded and nothing shifted. No eyes reflected the light. The silence that followed felt unnatural. He tried to convince himself it was nothing, probably an animal, maybe a deer moving through the brush. But the earlier noise had not sounded like hooves. It sounded like weight, deliberate weight.
I don't know if that was me or something over there. definitely something over there.
And Jake was not the only one who seemed to sense it. The atmosphere around him shifted, and the forest felt like it was holding its breath. He sat back under his tarp, thinking through the situation. The creek ran about 50 feet behind him, a perfect water source for wildlife. That meant predators could pass by at any time. Predators like bears, cougars, and coyotes. Animals came for water, and he was positioned right along their path.
Documenting my experience and why I'm leaving. It's basically, it was all set up. It was getting dark. I had just gathered all the firewood. I had run back to the vehicle to grab my Carhartt jacket. Right about that time, as I sit down, I hear some noise. And I thought that my keys have hit the chair a certain way. And as I'm thinking about it, I'm about to go about my business, then I hear behind me where the creek is, about only 50 feet, I hear a couple more loud crunches. And that's when I stand up and I just shine the forest. Of course the noise has stopped, and I'm guessing whoever it was, it found a good spot to lay low. I didn't see any eyes blowing back, didn't see any movement, other than I did see a bat. But definitely that is not what made the loud noises. In all this, I probably shined the light on the forest for a good 3 to 4 solid minutes. Nothing. And I said, okay, and I'm thinking I'll go back to just doing what I'm doing. But this is the second occurrence. Probably about a half an hour before that, I heard it up the hill. This time it's down parallel with me. I scouted the woods when it was daytime, just so I can get a good idea of what's around me. It's not really easy terrain to maneuver in. And anywho, I sat there for a minute and I was just thinking, okay, do I go ahead with the fire? And I was like, I'm not scared right now, but I'm also thinking maybe I'm too close to the stream. That's going to attract animals coming to get a drink. All that said, I decided to pack up camp. I was like, I don't know if I'll have fun now. And the other one out here, and it was really dark back in these woods. Getting all packed up, and once I get out to the road, I just take a quick look up towards where the creek is, and this is where it gets terrifying. And I thought I had pressed record, but it was not recording. But anywho, I've got my low beam on at this point. I think I see something small. Maybe it's like a raccoon or something right there by the water. And as I hit the high beam, this is when I see it. I see something standing there on the side of the road, pretending to be a statue. Whatever this was decided it was just going to freeze, and then maybe I wouldn't think it was anything. But as I'm looking in that direction, I'm not even kidding, it looks like somebody dressed up in camo. And they've got their back slightly angled away. I'd say like at a 45 degree. They're standing there about 6 feet tall, looking like a human that I just caught that was probably sneaking up on me. That's all I can think.
After debating with himself, Jake made a decision that, in hindsight, may have saved him. He packed up, and there would be no fire tonight. No relaxing evening beside the stream. Just a cautious, steady retreat back to the road. Number 3, the singing trees at 10,000 feet. Western Nowhere isn't the kind of channel built on jump scares or drama. No screaming at shadows, no staged paranormal stunts. His content is simple and real. A lone traveler in vast, remote landscapes. He documents forgotten history and remote terrain that most people will never set foot in. That's what made this particular video stand out. It wasn't exaggerated and was not sensationalized. It was unsettling because it was real. This trip took him deep into the high country of the southwestern United States, over 10,000 feet up, surrounded by dying and twisted pines.
In the southwestern United States, above 10,000 feet, and I have 3 objectives today. The first one, I'm trying to find a 1,000-year-old hunting camp up here in the high pines. What it looks like, I don't exactly know. The second thing is to find a more established hunting camp that's a few miles from where I am now. So I'm gonna get moving, and I'll update you with a little more information about this site as I get closer to it.
Not far into the hike, Something strange broke the flow. A soft, eerie noise came to him through the trees. At first it seemed like wind, but it carried a tone. It was a stretched, unusual sound, almost like singing. Not a song with rhythm, but something closer to wailing. He stopped walking and listened harder. It was not coming from one direction. The noise echoed around him, first ahead of him, then behind him, then off to the side, as if it were circling the ridge. The sound was not loud, but it was consistent, repeating, and unnatural.
Is that the wind blowing through the trees? Oh, it's like 4 or 5 people wailing. Tell me you hear that. I hope my mic is picking that up.
He tried to rationalize it. It might be wind passing through dead limbs or elk bugling far off in the timber. But the tone never changed. It was the same sound with the same pitch and same length. No matter where he stood and no matter if the breeze died or picked up again, that was the part that didn't make sense. The forest moved with the wind, but the singing didn't.
See, right there is a strong wind gust, and that's when it should coincide, but I didn't hear it. And I've sat through a few wind gusts, and I don't hear it anymore. At all wind speeds.
He kept hiking, pretending the noise didn't bother him, but it did. Anyone alone at that altitude, miles from the nearest road, would feel the weight of it. The sound was too human to write off entirely, yet too strange to fully understand. While searching for his lost drone, he braced himself against a dead branch that looked moments away from snapping.
I gotta get to my drone. I've been trying to solve this mystery of the singing trees.
The hike became a slow descent toward the black volcanic rock. Even here, that singing sound stayed with him, coming through the trees like a voice on the wind. And then something incredible. Stones appeared at the very edge of the lava where they shouldn't be. It was arranged, stacked, and formed into shapes that didn't occur naturally. A low wall took shape at his feet, then another on the opposite side. It was human-built and deliberate, exactly the kind of structure he was hoping to find. He couldn't believe the luck. Without realizing it, he had walked straight onto the site where rocks were carefully placed in layers.
Starting to see the first rocks. There's no way. I just got to the edge of the lava flow, and clearly there's been a wall built here. I can't believe it. Like, what are the odds that I would find this quick? Right there is a wall, and it seems on this side is a wall as well. Now, how high that stood, I don't know. I could guess maybe high enough for someone to build a roof over.
Some white stones mixed into the darker ones as markers or decoration. The remains of an ancient shelter or lookout point. A place built by a tribe that once lived in isolation, storing supplies. It was surviving off the land long before modern paths formed through the mountains. It was an incredible discovery, one that immediately shifted the tone of the trip from adventure to historic. But even in this moment, the strange sound continued. traveling across the ridge as if reminding him it hadn't gone anywhere. Number 4. The Druid's Altar and the Upside-Down Bible. Grizzly Gaz had built his YouTube channel on wild camps, punishing weather, and honest adventures with his French bulldog, Fendi. Viewers loved watching the pair push through storms, explore the unknown corners of the UK, and tackle places most people would never visit alone. But his trip on May 4th, 2025 was different.
I keep reading about a druid's altar that's buried in the woods of this reservoir. Now, I don't know where it is, but we're gonna find it.
What began as a simple mission to find a rumored druid's altar turned into one of the strangest encounters he'd ever filmed. His target was a woodland area near a reservoir. Local stories claimed a hidden altar lay somewhere within the surrounding trees. It was a relic from old rituals, but no one seemed to know its exact location. The reservoir itself was unusually low due to dry weather. This gave Gaz more room to explore, but also made the place feel strangely exposed. Because the reservoir was popular with dog walkers,
Bit of extra protein for you. Mate, go get your tent. Go on. Go get your tent. Go chill out for a bit. I'll have this and then we'll go for a walk. So impatient, isn't she? What was that? Did you hear that?
it was an abandoned camp. A collapsed tent, scraps of fabric, and a hint of scattered objects. He didn't approach it yet. He just noted its location. Later, when the evening settled in, he took a closer look out of curiosity.
Mr. Owl's out. That's up near where I saw that camp. So this might be a wrong move. Pigeons.
Almost like something had been pushed or thrown somewhere. His instincts were awake, but curiosity shot at him too. That crash had come from the direction of the abandoned camp. As the sky darkened and the forest grew quiet.
Don't know if this is a good idea now. Come on, we need to go have a look, don't we? I can hear rustling over here, but I don't know if it's just my imagination playing tricks on me.
Gaz was in a confusion whether to investigate the abandoned site and continue his search for the druid's altar. He felt kind of uneasy, but something about the earlier sound kept pulling him forward. With Fendi at his side, he finally grabbed his torch and stepped deeper into the forest. The woods swallowed them quickly.
Hello? Hello?
Fendi stayed glued to him with its ears still focusing toward the woods. Maybe it was expecting something to emerge from the darkness. That was enough. Gaz turned back and followed the path toward his camp. The strange noises behind them, the crash, the rustling, the eye shine, the unnatural silence hung heavy in his mind. Whatever that altar was, it didn't feel ancient, and it didn't feel mystical.
Fendi, come here. Fucking pigeon. Oh, I don't know. Oh, there you go. That answers it, doesn't it? Fendi, shit me pants then, mate. Oh, look. Bong there and cream of tomato soup. mandarin pieces. Just bits of crap lying about everywhere.
Encounters, disappearances, trail cam mysteries, all of it is lined up and ready. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below if you've ever witnessed anything you still can't explain.